Good morning, grade one. You've all been working really hard over the last 2.5 weeks on our unit on numbers up to 100. And you've been doing a lot of filling in missing numbers in 100 charts and other places. But today we're going to be working on something that's a little bit trickier, I think. And that's filling in pieces of a 100 chart. And it's like if I've taken a pair of scissors to my 100 chart and I've cut chunks out of it, and some of the numbers are missing and I have to figure out what they are. And it can be tricky, but if you understand how a 100 chart works, it's going to be pretty easy for you. So I want to remind you that when you're counting on a 100 chart, when you are going across the chart horizontally, you're always going to be counting by one. So if you start up in the corner and you start at 1, then you go to 2, 3, 4, and so on. But when you're looking at a 100 chart and you're going down it vertically, you're actually counting by tens. And that's pretty easy if you start over at the far side of it where the last number in the first row is 10, and you just go down and you're counting 10, 20, 30, 40. But on all the other columns that are going down, you're also counting by 10, but it's not going to be ending in a 0. For example, if I start at 1 on a 100 chart and I go down, if I add one more 10 in the next row, I've got not 1, but 11. And then if I add another 10, I've got not 11, but 21, 31, 41, 51. So every time I go down to a new row, I'm actually adding a 10. Okay? So if you can remember that when you're doing it, you could even fill in something like this if I only gave you one number. But on the first one that we're going to do, you've actually got 4 numbers that are clues for you. So let's take a look at it. Okay? Let's look up at the front, at the top row. We've got 12. So we know we're counting by ones here. So what is 1 more than 12? It's 13. 1 more than 13 is 14. Now, let's look and see if this one works because we should be counting by tens. 14, 24, 34. Do you see how the number in the ones place stays the same, but the number in the tens place is growing by 1? So there's a couple of ways we could do this next row because we know that this number is 24. We could think, what's 1 less than 24 because we're going backwards. So 1 less than 24 would be 23. We can double check that because we can look up to the one above, which is 13. The number in the ones place is going to stay the same the whole way down this row. The number in the tens place is going up by 1. So here you've got 13, 23. If I add one more to the 10 place for this one, I've got 33. And then when I read this, it says 32, 33, 34. That sounds right because we've added 1 each time. We still have one number missing. Let's go up to the 12. It's 1 in the tens place and 2 ones. So we know that we're still going to have 2 ones here when we're going down, but we need to add in one more 10 to make 22. And so we've got our chart filled in. Okay, I'm going to do one more for you, and I'm going to show you how you only really need to know what one of those numbers are. And if you're very clever with your 100 chart, you can fill in all the rest. Okay, and the number I'm going to give to myself is the number 100. And I'm going to put 100 down in the corner here. It would be the last number on a 100 chart. Now, if I were counting by tens to get to 100, what would the 2 numbers be that came before? Well, I know that a group of 10 less than 10 would be 9 tens. All the ones place numbers are going to be 0. So I've got a 90 there. 1 less than 90, 1 less than 9 is 8. And then I've still got a 0 in the ones place. So just knowing that there's a 100 here, I can figure out those other two numbers. Let's go back from here. 1 less than 100 would be 99. 1 less than 99 would be 98. Now I can use my counting by tens to figure out what the other numbers are here. I know that I'm still going to have a 9 in the ones place. 1 less than 9 going up here would be 8. I'm still going to have a 9 in the ones place here, but 1 less than 8 would be 79. Now, I can fill in these two numbers the same as I did this, or I could just say, what's the number that comes before 89? It's 88. What's the number that comes before 79? It's 78. And then I can double check them. 78, 79, 80, 88, 89, 90, 98, 99, 100. Okay? I hope that you understand. And good luck on your activities today. They're kind of tricky, but they're kind of fun. Goodbye now.